Hi, I'm Erik Linask here in the TMC newsroom. We're coming to you from San Jose, California today, and I'm talking with Shlomi Gian, who's the GM of Mobile at Cotendo. Shlomi, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Erik.
So wanted to talk a little bit about mobile website performance, and specifically, tell me a little bit about the challenges that, that people face with mobile site performance.
Yeah, let's talk about our own challenge, right? You know, it's always good. You're trying to shop, you're trying to buy something, you're at the store, you'd like to use your phone, who happen to have internet connection. Click on your favorite site, compare pricing, perhaps, and it starts spinning. And spinning, same thing could happen when you're at the airport, trying to look at your flight status, or maybe when you're trying to check your reservation for your hotel while on the road. What we're seeing is that the mobile experience, as we call it, and we measure for us experience is speed, how fast those sites are being rendered, is far from being satisfactory. We're all used to 1-2 seconds at home when we're connected to the PC. On the smartphone connected to a wireless network, it is much longer.
Is it better now that we're getting some faster wireless networks out there?
Very good question. We think that faster networks will help, but we don't think that the problem will go away. It's like computers, right? We used to have, the older computers. They got better and more CPU power. The more CPU power they had, the more consumptions, the heavier the applications, the more demanding the applications were. And we're seeing, huge traffic growth in terms of mobile. More and more users are using mobile devices, and there are so many towers out there. There'll be more towers. There'll be faster networks, protocols. But at the end of the day, we think the demand will always exceed, supply. And, latency will always be an issue. So what we're thinking about Cotendo is how we can help your business, how we can help your users, their personal experience, how can we make the sites work faster.
And how do you do that?
Well, it's a combination of things, right? We have a very large infrastructure, global infrastructure. We are servers all over the world, but that's nothing new there. There are so many cloud companies out there. What we did, we looked at the problem of the mobile content delivery, and we identified a few issues. At the core of the problem, there is something we call latency. And latency over wireless networks is tenfold, if not 20-fold, higher than fixed connection. Now, if you combine this latency, slow network, and you see what an average page will do. An average HTML page will go about 40, 50 times from the user back to the server. We call it round trips. Combine slow latency or high latency with 50 round trips, and you have a very bad experience. What we're trying to do, obviously we cannot change the underlying network, but what we can do is to be smart about those round trips. How can we save the round trips? How can we be more clever in the way we use the network?
Does that apply for all mobile websites?
Yeah. Any mobile site, some are richer than the others, will have multiple calls. Every image, every element in the page requires another round trip to the server. Sometimes, as I said, you end up with quite a large number. And our job is to try and minimize that. Our job is to try and help you when you send and receive content to do more with less.
Do you have an example or two of ways that you've helped mobile sites achieve that kind of optimization?
Of course, I'll give you 2 or 3 examples.
Sure.
Let's start with retail. Let's assume you are selling applications or digital content on the web or mobile. Today we hear more and more about app stores. App stores basically are stores, right? People will go out and buy a game, will download an application. The more downloads the store can accomplish, the better the service is. They can monetize better through advertisement, through complete transactions. One of the app stores out there is called GetJar. It's the largest free app store, they call it, because all the content is for free. And we help them accelerate content delivery. We help them actually, they reported back about 33% improvement in performance. Can't guess what the impact to the bottom line is, but I think it's positive. Another example is a real estate site. You know, we all out there every few years shopping for houses. We want to look, it's mostly weekend traffic, and most of the real estate sites do report on high spikes, you know, traffic spikes during the weekend. Now, back in the days, we used to go house to house and pick up the brochures and, you know, look and talk to the agent, take some notes. Today, the smartphone is changing everything. You just pull your smartphone, your iPhone, your Android device, and you can just look up by the house name or the house address, find, you know, the history of the house, find all the facts, you know, for how much it was sold, etc. What we realize is that if, you know, this service is faster, for example, one of our customers, a company called Redfin, then, you know, the abandon rate is lower and satisfaction for user is higher. As a result, they have, you know, better affiliation to the brand, Redfin.
Are there certain hardware-related factors, mobile device-related factors that just can't be overcome?
Well, if I understand you correctly, you're talking about better hardware, or like?
For instance, you know, your memory on your mobile device becoming very, very full.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you more and more smartphones are now relying on caching techniques to cache content. Problem is that, you know, content in general, regardless of mobile, just the modern internet is becoming more and more personalized. People would like to target you, your profile, your location, your handset. You know, it could be on a BlackBerry or an iPhone, and different handsets will have different content. This makes the modern internet less cacheable. So you could have caching on the device, and more devices have larger cache, but then you're moving around, and, you know, it's less efficient. We see other companies that developed caching techniques. Actually, caching was a big thing 10 years ago. Everything was like, let's get closer to the user, let's put lots of machines out there, and let's cache so there's less traffic. But if the content is dynamic, those techniques are less relevant. And what we believe at Cotendo is that the world is going, you know, toward, you know, personalized content, dynamic content, and this is exactly the problem we're trying to solve.
Well, if you have it your way, you're going to spoil us with the website speeds on our mobiles. We've been talking here in our San Jose TMC newsroom with Shlomi Gian from Cotendo. Shlomi, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Erik. Appreciate it.